Hello, friends of Komodo platform and pirates, friends of Pirate Chain, friends of Bitcoin and crypto charts. My name is E. Giuliano. It's 19th of September, and I am here to share some Bitcoin price charts with you. Bitcoin price charts, BTC USD. We'll check out the RBTC. We'll check out the KMD BTC. Let's get right into it. Here are the charts. Thanks for being here. I hope this is going to be of value to you, entertaining, educating, whatever it is. Now, this is this is today's candle right here, the red one. So yesterday's was a green candle out of this channel. Let's go to the 4-hour and really demonstrate or show what was happening there. Previously, I had drawn out this channel here, and that's where we were. That's what we were doing. I'll just go this way, and we broke out of it to the upside. Nice. So in one sense here, looks like we're getting potentially flat pattern if this is one whole correction here, and that's nice. We'll see what this wave here, this would be a C wave. What does this look like? Maybe they're not related in an overall pattern together, but so far that's what it's looking like. We had our impulse up, now we're getting a correction, and it basically pulls out something like that. So we'll see where this one goes and what it's all about. Is it really just a quick one, or do we need a bit more time? This B wave would be higher than the previous wave, than the top of the beginning of the A wave, and so that would make some form of running, or at least a strong B wave. We'll call it the strong B wave. And at this point, because the C wave is, let's retrace here. Let's do some retracements. We'll say the B wave was, if we take wicks, we were over 100, and then if we don't take wicks, let's just take the bodies and the closes. It was about, yeah, same, over 100. And so that what I'm doing is I'm taking the retracement of the B wave, the retracement of the A wave done by the B wave, and now we'll retrace the B wave. So we'll take the B wave. Let's say we're pulling it from here with the wicks, and we're not one-to-one yet, so would be a strong, it would be a stronger move, if it doesn't correct one-to-one. That's great. Otherwise, you can even still see it coming down here to this 47,000 again to try and find that support if it's possible. So where are we here? Yeah, overall, I think we can still have one more move down, but it's looking decent. It's looking good. Lagging indicators not necessarily showing anything to turn us around yet. And yeah, on the daily price chart, this definitely looks like a flat pattern if we were going to take, let's say, a move up and now have a correction. But anyway, who knows what this is, right? That's the beauty of watching these play out. As this is coming down, who knows what it does? Maybe it does one of these first, and then it follows into the next pattern, or part of the pattern, so that this, so that this whole thing here doesn't necessarily have to be an ABC on its own. Doesn't have to be like that, or wherever this C is going to be. What ends up happening is maybe it changes where the B wave, in fact, ends. So this just might be part of the B wave, or this could be part of the A wave of a bigger move. But in terms of like that thought about what is the degree of this correction, the degree of this correction here is the degree of this move here. So it's this same degree of these two moves. So we have, it looks like this impulse has completed, and we're making a correction to the degree of this impulse. That's basically the idea. So it doesn't look like it has to be huge in terms of time. It could finish out at any point, depending on what is the degree of this impulse relative to the overall move that's being made in the market currently. And how do we even recognize something like that? Well, maybe we look behind and say, okay, we went higher. Now we come lower, and we're in between again. So there's a lot of chopping that could happen around here day by day. If we look, when we take candles into account, we had a nice engulfing green bullish candle here yesterday, the 18th September candle. So, but here we are again today with the red day, but that's fine. As a day-to-day, it's just chopping around sideways, making its correction relative to this move up. It doesn't look like it needs a whole lot to continue going wherever it's going to go, which in terms of this green candle move here out of this down channel, the bias is upwards. So there you go. And then if we look on the daily, I get the sense we're going to see some green, you know, some return into positive momentum. When's that going to happen? It tried to happen here, 6th of September. You remember that date. And these few days here. And then previously to that, you know, in August, we had some, well, by the time it's positive momentum, you're really starting to get relatively negative down here, you know. So it's just a lagging indicator that shows us that there's good strength in the movement. And that means, yeah, we're waiting for some of that positivity again. And I think that's coming. I don't get the sense that we're going to break down below this cloud at this point. Okay, maybe around here, we were not sure where things were going. But yeah, for now, looking half decent. Okay, however, that's just a daily on that. And still, we are not looking clear from this whole move here. See, now when we start to get into this degree of action, we start to see that this cloud really becomes important for support. This 200-day moving average is so important for support. I want to come back into this, take a retracement from the high to the low. We retraced about 61.8 with the wicks and about 50% with the candles, with the closing prices of the day. And if we take now potential for continuation, just like before, we can probably say if we're going wick to wick, we're taking, well, anyway, let's just go like this and start it wick to wick style. Oh, that's going to be back where we said, down to that 40,000 level for a 1-to-1. Something stronger with like a 0.618 or something around here. Again, that would be like the cloud providing the support, which if you notice is like right there around that, also that previous support resistance line around the 44,000. That's the 0.5 to the 0.618. But really, yeah, I don't see that at this point. It doesn't look like that kind of correction. I'm just saying that in fact, it looks more like, and when I pull it out onto the 4-hour, it starts looking more this type of move starts looking more similar to this type of move here, where, and even something like, but this was very strong, and then it took its full retracement here. But yeah, it's looking like something, you know, of a sideways strength in the correction that allows for further uptrend. But we'll see what it ends up being overall. Because we're at a precarious spot now too. Just want to recognize this, where, you know, you could start having a potential where if you're not breaking this downtrending line here, this downtrending resistance formed by this price action back here in August and here, that's concerning for sure. Okay, so we'll keep that trend line in mind for now. That's about it for the BTC. Yeah, I think we're going to keep it there. The KMD and the ARRR price charts are not really showing a lot of advancement at the current look of things. So what I've seen here for the pirate chain is we'll get something going here on this downward wedge. Although if you want to play the wick game, then, you know, you start playing with those levels. That's why, you know, when it comes to wicks and other things like that, you got to use your best judgment. Whether it's a downward wedge or it's a more of a triangular formation like this, that's fine. If we want to get rid of that and just take the candle bodies, you know, and we start working with just the closing prices, then we can have something like that. Either way, we're coming towards the apex, and that will give us either the up or the down move. My bias is up move here from here, holding these levels as strongly as possible. However, it's just doesn't quite want to give in here and turn around. So at what point is this continued divergence in the RSI? Okay. At what point is that going to favor the price bullishly? Just can't be that much longer. I get the sense based on the different time analyses and other things that we've done. So there we are with that. That's the ARRR BTC. If you want to see it on the longer time frame, it's just the same idea here. And you remember this channel. If not, check the previous videos. But so far, so good. Still holding within it. Actually went back up to test the that midway line of the channel, that area. So that's pretty fun when we get stuff like that. Okay, because the previous time that I saw you, that I put this out, we didn't really have all of that action. We were just more so back here. Yeah, so this stuff over here is fresh and new because we didn't really have these two candles. We were getting up into this level, and now we are back down. Oops. Okay. So if we take, yeah. See, this was a nice retracement because it breaks this previous level very nicely quickly, but then it couldn't hold it. And now we're testing below, you know, around, this doesn't look good. It doesn't feel right, but you know what? It's confluencing with this price level here, this price level here. Yeah, and there's, you know, there's room to go if need be. We'll see how long it takes. What are we going to have on this end here? It's interesting that the RSI is not really doing anything. MACD is giving the negative signs here. I'm gonna just get rid of these. It's, you know, negative momentum, but look, it's so tiny. It's so nothing. It's just winding up. It's just waiting. It's finding some energy. And what I'm seeing here is a lot of red, bigger red, and more frequently. So I think there will be a time when the green comes back in and we get more of a positive momentum state of affairs. Yeah, overall, things are looking good when we zoom out, even on this 4-hour price chart here. Things are looking good, and we will be back. You know, this is the weekly candles are going to be closing, so we'll be back with more of that. And I just want to check here, you know, at any point too, we can move back into that positive territory. It's starting to narrow down. All the negative momentum is narrowing down. So something's got to give at some point. All right, looking for positive momentum. That's where we're at. Yeah, I think that's it for now on the ARRR BTC. Then we'll check the KMD BTC, and we will determine where things are right now. This is the weekly time frame, so you get a quick peek of the weekly candle. Not friendly on the weekly time frame. Well, anyway, could be all right. We are reaching this green downtrend line, so, or sorry, uptrend line, and we are reaching the nearest point to this trend line, that downsloping trend line here. So what are we going to do? We're going to get rid of you. You're goodbye. And now we are confirming that this is our trend line currently. Now what's going to happen with that? Well, let's see. This is a key area here. What's happening with the Komodo platform? This is like just here in the set screen here, we've got the Ichimoku cloud. It is a resistance area, but because we've just come from it, it means that it's not impossible to get back into it. And because, you know, we've got this weakening from up top here, if we can get back into it and stay within it, there could be some increasing pricing and bullishness there. See what else. The next thought is the next level is a 1800 Satoshi level, I would say, maybe 19 if you're lucky, if it dumps down. And then at that point, you start to consider what is happening here. What is the structure that's playing out here? Is it a version of something like this here, where it played out, but this one is going to be on a bigger scale? This is the way that the charts move at times. Like, look, it retraced this whole thing one-to-one. It was here on January 29th and here again on February 9th. And in between, it went all the way up and came all the way back down here. So same idea here. We were here August 9, and now we have this potential to come right back down and to fill out that whole level. Is that the way that it's going? Well, let's check on the 4-hour. On the 4-hour, we're looking for some sort of pattern that tells us we're done. And I think it's looking decent. We're starting to get some divergence with the RSI and the price. And then in terms of the MACD, it favors moving into positive momentum. Good support resistance levels. Like, if you're going to do it, this is where you do it, and you're confluencing with this uptrending trend line. And you know, you've just dumped through all of this Bollinger Band, and now you're squeaking your way back into it sideways, which means you could pop back up to the 20-period average and hang around and then make your way higher into some sort of new consolidation territory. The other option, as stated previously, where are we going with this? We want to just take a better look. Yeah. What do we got here? Well, it all depends if we want to count this as the same degree as all of the rest of this. This one right here, is it part of the same degree as all of this? So if this were to be a 1 and a 2, and then this whole thing would be a 3 and a 4, and this would be a 5, or maybe you'd make this your 3 and that's your 4. This would be your 5th. So then what would that be the case? Because if we're talking, you know, this is an ABC correction, and then you'd have your A down to here, your B up to here, and then your C over here. Then you are looking to finish it off. Where does it finish off? So let's see, we're going to take some Fibonacci and see. That's probably not, but let's give it the benefit of the doubt for now. We're going to compare, let's say, that just makes it, that's why sometimes, okay, so I'm thinking, like, if you take the 1 and the 3 and you compare it with the 5, then that's just, it's the same thing as a zigzag, where you would take your A all the way down, you know, which would be, let's say in this case, the 1 and the 3. But anyway, that's a side note. I'm just rambling now at that point. I want to, yeah. So when I first took the 1 and the 2 and we went there, okay, and then we'll compare it with the 5. Okay, and then also I want to compare the 3. So nothing is really sticking out majorly. Let's say we're going here and we're going here. Yeah, so like currently it's nearly 1-to-1 with when starting from here and starting from here. So that means that this is either going to have to keep going further down, which looks like the case. Like for some reason, the bias is to the downside here. It's just, it feels easier for it to dump further down. But really the saving grace is the divergence on the 4-hour and the ability for this to turn further positive momentum. That's really the only thing that's keeping it afloat here. I think that it could stay afloat. It could even dump down below the line and come right back in. I mean, nothing is, it's not like this is some in stone 100% pure line. So, but we're at this area where I think could be over. It definitely could be over. I think when I add things up and I have the whole move here, I think the dump down could be ending here at this level. So we'll see if that plays itself out. At least on the 4-hour, that's what it's calling for. And then on the daily, once again, no, I mean, it could still go, could still dump, you know, especially look, you had all of this positive momentum green, and now moving into that red negative momentum territory. Although it is much smaller than these big previous ones on the daily, so that's good to see. It's about the same levels as the beginning of the year, a little bit smaller than the end of 2020. So yeah, so just get the sense that the bias is still to the upside, but KMD is just not really. It's on the edge. It's so on the edge. That's all. Like, you know, you have this Bollinger Bands. It just wants to break down. If it really needs support here and try and go hit this 20 period average and figure out if we can get some support at the 2400 Satoshi level. You know, on the daily, definitely not out of the woods. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so that's it. I'm done. I'm just now rambling about this KMD price. We're just at such inflection levels, support and resistance. Good times. All right, KMD friends and fam, we will talk to you on the next one. That's it. BTC hovering around that 47,000 USD level. Until next time, goodbye.